Welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking about how to promote your company on LinkedIn. The LinkedIn algorithm changes all the time like the other social media platforms do, so it's important to stay on top of the latest. So I am going to share with you today exactly what you need to do to promote your company today based on how the algorithm is working today. So as I mentioned, we're talking about how to promote your company on LinkedIn, and there are a lot of do's and don'ts, and I'm going to share with you my top 10 so that you can successfully promote your company starting immediately. So tip number 1, post things on your personal page, not necessarily a company page. It's okay to post things on a company page, but really your customers aren't going to be going to your company page on LinkedIn necessarily. They are going to be seeing your comments and your posts in their feed if you've connected with them, or if they're connected to somebody, they're a second level connection of yours. So it's more important really to promote your company on your personal page under your own name. So tip number 2, speaking of your personal page, how should that look if you're promoting your company? Well, you've got that banner across the top of your page, and that is prime real estate to market your company and say things about your company, have your contact information there for your company, kind of a little mini advertising space. So use that to your advantage and don't just leave that blank, God forbid, or don't put like a picture of a sunrise. Use that to your advantage by creating something in Canva or whatever service you use. And then as far as your personal photo, which goes in the circle beneath the banner, did you know that you can now do a video greeting? Check out my LinkedIn, Shauna Suko, if you want to see a video greeting in action. It's super easy and it's very brief. You don't get a whole lot of time to talk about yourself, but what a difference it makes when somebody goes to your profile and they see movement, because it's not normal. So definitely a photo of you, and preferably a photo of you that is reflecting something about your personality, not just a professional headshot, because that doesn't do anything to differentiate you really. And then best of all, better than a professional headshot is certainly a personal reflecting headshot, and then better than that is a video greeting. So number 3, what should you post? Well, I have a whole video that I will link to at the end of this, but certainly you want to post blogs, you want to post articles, you want to post all different kinds of things, basically depending on what it is that you're trying to promote. And it can't always be a sales pitch. In fact, very infrequently should it be a pitch, because it's just kind of ishy. And LinkedIn, you're going to get noticed and get far more engagement when you are talking about something, sharing things that are of value to your prospects and customers. So what kind of information do you have? What kind of statistics do you have access to, where even if you didn't do the research, you can add your context to it and showcase your expertise? You can certainly talk about product launches and things like that. But there are basically 7 different content pillars that I talk about in another video. Save that for another time. But let's say you're posting a blog post. There are a couple ways to do that. The first one is to just post it as a new post on your personal page. And the one don't that I want to for sure emphasize here is do not copy something word for word from your website. So if you post a blog on your website, you need to rewrite it, because the LinkedIn algorithm doesn't like the Google algorithm, and so they don't like that very much, and you'll get dinged on both of those. So what I do is I will put a blog post into ChatGPT and just say, rewrite this, keeping all the same, keeping the same word count and the same context and the same point, and it will tweak it just enough so that I don't anger the LinkedIn and Google gods, and then I'll post that to LinkedIn. So that's just a little tip to speed things up for you, so you don't always have to reinvent the wheel and post something completely different on every single platform. The number 4 tip, now this is an interesting one. Don't put links in your posts. LinkedIn doesn't like it when you send somebody outside of LinkedIn, like check this out on our webpage, or check this out on, YouTube, they don't like that. So they want to keep you there. So there is a trick to kind of a workaround for this. But the first time that you post that particular post, don't put any links in. And then what you can do is once it goes live, you can edit it to include the link in the original post, or you can say link is in the comments below and then add the link in the first comment being from you with the link. A couple workarounds for you. And tip number 5 hashtags. So it's important to be able to be findable for people that may have an interest in your particular expertise or your topic that you're writing about or sharing information about. And so you've seen this a million times, you maybe already do it yourself, but be strategic in the hashtags at the end of your post so that you are findable for what you want to be found for. So for me, it would be I do things, marketing, sales, keynote speaker is one of mine, consumer behavior. So depending on the nature of the post or what I want to be known for, 5 hashtags that's the number that's recommended. No more, no less. And tip number 6, the golden hour. You may have heard of this before, but when you first post something on LinkedIn, there is what's known as the golden hour, where the LinkedIn algorithm is watching how engaging your post is, how many people find it interesting, and based on that level of engagement, in that first hour, it is going to either show that post to a lot more people and go really wide with it, or not so much, and then your post just kind of dies out, kind of fizzles, and you've done all that work for very little eyeballs on your post, which is not fun. So that brings me to tip number 7. Okay, so how do we leverage that golden hour? So tip number 7 is to establish your own support circle of people who are also trying to promote their businesses on LinkedIn. And whenever you post, you notify them, hey, it's the golden hour for this post. Here's the link to the post to make it easy for them. And then have them go in and comment on that. Now, that brings me to tip number 8, and that is those comments in that golden hour are most helpful 2 ways. Number 1 is that they're 5 words or more, and better if they're even longer. And number 2, that they don't like or heart or clap, celebrate, or they don't click on the reaction button until after they've commented. This is a new kind of algorithm thing that I just learned myself. So our natural tendency is to like and then comment. Tell your support circle to do the opposite. So comment and then like it. And for some reason, LinkedIn right now likes that better. And tip number 9 is, yes, it's fantastic to post in your regular feed, but the LinkedIn newsletter is a fantastic opportunity, especially the first couple times that you post, because it sends it to your entire list. So if you have been working on building your list of connections, they're all gonna be sent it the first couple times. So by all means, leverage your LinkedIn newsletters, and that also gets sent out if you use your hashtags properly and also use your support circle. This is gonna be findable in different ways from a post on your regular page. So definitely, if you have the time, definitely also do completely different content for your LinkedIn newsletter than you would post. And if you say, I only have time to really write one lengthy post a week or every other week, that's okay. I would put the lengthier posts that are more comprehensive in your LinkedIn newsletter. And then in your posts, you can always just put a statistic with some comments, a quote with some comments, share some interesting research that you found, and do that if you can about 3 times a week. So post 3 times a week just on anything, and that does not include forwarding or sharing somebody else's post. Sorry, don't bother doing that. It's not that helpful for them or for you. So 3 unique new posts by you can just be very simple. Hey, I found this interesting statistic or something like that. And then 1 LinkedIn newsletter per week if you can. I know that's a lot. My advice is always give up those tasks, those marketing tasks that aren't working well for you, and repurpose those into what will work for you. And these tips and tricks are all what's working right now on LinkedIn. So if you go ahead and do that well, you're going to see results. So drop what's not working. Which brings me to tip number 10, and that is my content pillars. Now, as I mentioned earlier, we don't always want to be posting, buy our stuff, here's our latest gadget, buy this thing, or aren't I great, I just won this award, or whatever. So mixing it up by using the content pillars is what I personally do and what I recommend. So I am going to share that video with you so you can watch that next and do a deeper dive into how to structure your content. And it's also going to help you ideate. I hate that word. Why did I just use that word? It's going to help you ideate on all the different things that you can plan out for your social media content plan for the month on LinkedIn as well as your other platforms. So I hope that helps. So check out that next video on my content pillars. Thanks.